Welcome everybody, my name is Mr. Llama and today I am bringing you a TVZ. This is going to be between SCSXenocider. He's now on team 4-0 I believe, and he's spawning down in the bottom left corner here of Cloud Kingdom. He is the Terran player, and spawning up in the top right is EGIdra. Everybody knows Greg Fields. And Xenocider with a little bit of smack talk, and it just says, "Who are you? I don't even remember playing you very much." So SCS is StarCraft 2 strategy, and Xenocider. This is a slightly older game between these two players, but it was sent to me, and I heard it was a decent game, so I'm gonna go ahead and cast it anyways. So they are just going at it here in their talk, and I think I've actually casted Xenocider before, or I might have played with him once before. I can't remember. I don't think, of course, it was like a ladder game, but I do believe he was just hanging out in a channel one day and he was looking for somebody to play. I think I played him. He probably beat me. That would sound about right. So he is well known for a lot of early Terran strategies, lots of cheesy things, but very just like aggressive openers and stuff. He's not been known to be somebody to grab that triple orbital or anything like that. So right now it looks like Xenocider will be just going for the typical gasless expand at this point, unless he decides to do some sort of crazy throw down 7 racks or something. But that wouldn't be too good on this map here, as the Overlord can easily spot all of those Marines popping out, and then EGIdra would be able to react fairly easily. But EGIdra opening hatch first, so both players very, very standard in their openers at this point, and we'll just kind of have to wait. And still just going on in that chat. And so we'll just kind of have to wait and see where exactly the players do decide to deviate from the typical path. We'll see if EGIdra takes a fast third. We'll see if there's going to be possibly Banshees, if he's going to be even be going for Reactor Hellions off of this, or if he's just going to go into some sort of Marine Marauder push, possibly. Lots of variations, of course, to see. So it looks like EGIdra will be able to get in there and see his opponent going for that expansion right there. So he knows exactly what's up. Did he even send a drone scout? No, he did not. So he's just going to go ahead and scout with that Overlord, sees the command center, says, "Alright, I feel completely safe with what's going on there." And that was strange. Lost my mouse there for a second. Okay, so second depot being taken right here. Still nothing crazy really going on. Drone transfer for EGIdra. Pool is up, and the queens have been started at both of the hatches. So when these lings get out, he will be able to push out and maybe snipe a Marine with these two lings. We'll have to see if Xenocider is going to be able to pull it back, or if the lings will even go out for scouting, or if they're just going to look possibly at the third. For an SCV, sometimes Terran players will drop a bunker or an engineering bay over here at the third base to block it, just kind of be annoying. So that's something to look out for. In the meantime, we do see Xenocider pushing over here with an SCV. Is this just going to be a scout SCV? Or no, he's taking a fast third base. So very unlike him, as generally you will see him go for early aggression, or at least from what I've seen playing against him, casting him a couple of times, I do believe. But I suppose he knows he's playing against EGIdra. He knows EGIdra's a very macro-oriented player himself, and so he's going to go in and kind of out-macro cheese his opponent and try and get away with it with this fast third base, not even in base. A lot of times you'll see that fast third orbital in the base. This is a very risky position to put it in. So he's feeling very, very safe at this point. Knows EGIdra's not really going to be doing much at all. In the meantime, he's also getting Reactor Hellions here behind this, so he will have those out to scout, and EGIdra taking a third base as well. So pretty typical right there. Slightly later third base than you would generally see, 46 supply. A lot of times right now you are seeing players taking them 36 supply, even earlier. You'll see them all the way up to 24, 25 supply sometimes, kind of like a ZVP sort of style with the mass queens. But EGIdra instead just going to opt for a slightly later third there. Still gets it before the 6-minute mark, so not terrible. And now Xenocider does have his third base up and will be morphing that into an orbital possibly. Yes, so he will be making that into an orbital. I wasn't sure if he was going to make that a planetary due to the timing. He doesn't even have an engineering bay though, so I suppose he couldn't even do that. But yeah, so the Hellions are going to be out in a couple more seconds right here. He will be able to push over there and scout and see that he has not seen anything. So this right here is what surprises me about the fast third base, and this is completely metagaming your opponent, saying, I know that Idra's not a rusher, because any sort of Roach Bane bust, anything like that, even just 7-Roach Rush or anything, would have been extremely difficult for Xenocider to deal with, as he does not have a bunker even up at this point. So he was simply sitting with 3 Marines, and that was all of his defenses for the first 6:37 minutes of the game here, until these Hellions did pop out. So now he will be able to get over here, scan his opponent, at the very least just deny this creep spread from continuing out, which is so important for a Terran player to do. And I think a lot of Terran players don't really think about that too much. Or, I mean, I'm saying the lower leagues, you will see a lot of players. So there we go. He's going to be able to push up, start sniping those, force cancels. But they'll kind of rush their Hellions in, get like 5-6 drone kills, maybe 7 or 8, lose all their Hellions, and they're like, yeah, that was probably about an even trade. But really, in actuality, you lost all of the creep tumors that you could have been denying as well. So then the creep spread's going to continue out, and it's just not really worth it unless you can really get in there and snipe off. I mean, like whole lines of drones that make it so cost efficient. So even more Hellions popping out here, all the way up to 6 Hellions and 8 Hellions actually. Now he's finally dropped his starport, so he will be switching into a Marine Marauder medevac sort of style right here, as he does get the reactor down. And Stim will be finishing up in about 50 seconds as well, 40 seconds. Excuse my terrible math right there for a second. So both players just playing extremely macro-oriented, but there is a huge Ling push out right now. As I say that, he needs to be careful not to lose too many Lings right here. He doesn't really get a very good surround, and Xenocider doing such great play with these Hellions is able to block it off, and is he going to murder all of these Lings? Wow. So all of those Lings will go down at the cost of 4 Hellions, it looks like, and that right there is going to chalk up 1,000 easily into resources lost. In the meantime, though, it looks like EGIdra was able to sneak some of these Lings by, at least, over to the base here, the third base of Xenocider. He's going to be able to pick off a few Marines and Marauders, but will it be enough? It doesn't look like it. These Banelings are going to finish. They won't be able to explode on anything right there, and more Lings now streaming over for EGIdra. So EGIdra going extremely heavy with the Ling aggression right now, continuing to pump out Lings if we do look at his base, and he's doing some decent damage actually. Is it going to be enough though? I'm not sure. We may have to see Xenocider pull back, possibly just lift up this third base, but I don't know if enough was killed. If we look at the resources lost there, you can still see so many resources lost for EGIdra. He's going to go ahead and stream in with some more Lings, tanks, and Marines being lifted up to the front right here, or to the main base, I should say. SCVs having to be pulled back yet again, going to actually be attacking, and the Marines will be unloading, so hold position does go down on these SCVs to kind of block in the way, and that's probably going to be the end of that aggression for EGIdra, as now he's starting to drone up and take a 4th base. So well done by EGIdra right there. How many workers did he kill? 12 workers, so not a terrible worker kill count at all, but I'm still not sure it was enough damage done. As you can see, he still is behind about 1,400, 1,300 resources in that tab, and back home he still doesn't even have his lair completed. So 12 minutes into the game, his lair tech is just going up, and his 1-1 is only halfway done. In the meantime, we do have 1-1 already finished for our Terran opponent, but he will not have 2-2 for at least 30 seconds right here, as his armory is going to be finishing up. So the Ling is going to continue streaming across a little bit, trying to pick off these rocks here in the middle. I like this play right here so that he can't get blocked in by those Hellions, things like that again. Any open paths for a Zerg are good paths, so feel free to always be clearing off those rocks. Very smart play. Meantime, Xenocider are going to be fighting this ramp yet again, going to see some more Lings by EGIdra starting to stream out, and once again, EGIdra continuing this Ling aggression. The thing that you have to remember, though, is that these Lings are still 0-0. They don't even have the 1-1 yet. Infestation Pit is going down right now, so 13 minutes, a little bit late for sure, but at least he will have the Infestors. And what I'm interested in seeing is that Xenocider has not gone for a single drop yet this game whatsoever. So he has these Marines and Medevacs all gathered up right here, but he's simply going to rely on just having all of these units kind of sitting together, just waiting, building up a little ball right here. He needs to be careful, though, because if he does wait too late, the Zerg will go ahead and get ahead with that 4th base economy getting up, and he'll be able to just kind of get out those infestors, possibly get to Broodlords, and just massacre this Terran ball as it pushes out. So here we are going to see the Terran Xenocider start to push out now. This is probably a good time as the infestors are still on the way, about 40 seconds until those finish. The Hellions do have blue flames. That's going to be huge in this engagement here, as he'll be able to obliterate so many of those lings, but they do get surrounded, unfortunately, so he was a little bit delayed in getting over there. The Banelings do finish, though. He needs to be very careful not to stand on the creep. Needs to have some good splits right here. It looks like he's splitting decently well. Going to take a couple of hits, but overall, very nice splits by Xenocider right there, and that's going to force EGIdra back for a little bit at least, and now we're going to see Xenocider squeeze into a little choke right here. The Lings really can't do too much. So many medevacs overhead, but a infestor pops at a great time to get a fungal growth down. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. Another stim goes down. Some Banelings roll in, though, and it looks like he was trying to focus down the hatchery. He needs to be careful here. He's dropping these Marines left and right. Needs to continue dropping them, though. There's so many there, and so many infestors now piling over. They'll be able to fungal growth all of this with these Lings, so that's going to be the end of that Terran army, it looks like, and he's going to have to pull back his forces right here. So EGIdra able to clean that up, still though with a lot of resources lost and a lot of infestor energy actually had to be used right there. I think he used about 4 or 5 fungals, plus he lost a couple of infestors. So nicely done by Xenocider, able to clean that up, taking his 4th base just now. I feel like this is possibly a tiny bit late. He probably could have taken it a slightly like when he was starting to push out. Generally you want to start taking that 4th base, but he will be taking it anyways. And infestors burrowed, now going to be moving towards the base here. Does he have any detection whatsoever? It does not look like it. The depots are down, so those can get into the main if they want, or they can just head over to the natural and fungal growth all of these SCVs. It looks like they'll be going to both places. In the meantime, though, we do have an engagement up here. Some nice Marine splits once again, avoiding as many fungals and Banelings as he can. In the meantime, the infestors are chilling. I'm waiting for them to spew out those little infested Terrans. 4th base, though, for EGIdra going to be going down, so it looks like Xenocider are going to be able to clean that up right there. And there's the infested Terrans at both the natural and in the main right there. These SCVs will be taking a lot of damage, but it doesn't matter. Xenocider's continuing to push into this 3rd base, and look at how well he has everything spread. So fungal growths are only touching 2, 3, 4 units every time, and the blue flame is so deadly against all of those Lings right there. EGIdra is just in a rough position. He's able to clean out both of these mineral lines pretty well, though. How many workers killed does he have? 36 workers killed. But I'm still not sure if it's going to be enough. You have to remember that the Terran player does have the mules, and he does have this 4th base finished, so he can move that over fairly soon, I would imagine. But it looks like he's just going to continue pushing in here, trying to take out this 3rd base, and if that goes down, it is going to be back to mining on basically nothing. He really doesn't have too much of a force left. He's going to have to let this 3rd base fall. And the superior upgrades, it looks like 2-2 versus the 1-1 right there, are just going to really be killer. You cannot be behind in upgrades against a Marine Marauder composition like that. And it looks like that's going to be it. It's just going to be leaving the game, and Xenocider going to take this game right here. So my name is Mr. Llama. I hope you guys enjoyed this cast, and I'll see you guys in my next video.